So my name is Mailys Garden. I work as a transport planner, transport planning consultant, as an associate for Momentum Transport Consultancy. And I'm also a volunteer board member for Women in Transport. And in earlier this year, we have launched a Scotland hub, which I'm going to tell you all about today. The reason we exist is because women represent 47% of the workforce, yet only 20% of workers in the transport industries are female. So we funded Women in Transport, well, when it was called Women in Transportation Seminar, actually 15 years ago, with the aim to promote and advance women working in the transport industry, realizing that we do need diversity in the way that we plan, we design, we collect information on our transport infrastructure, on our transport systems, so that we can really cater for the needs of a wider group. How we do this network-wide is to support the development of women working within the sector, and we do this through various programs, including networking, panel seminars, events, and also directly campaigning the government for gender balance through our all-party parliamentary group for women in transport. My next slide is shamelessly stole that from our chief exec from our AGM earlier this month, and really shows what we've achieved over the past year. So we've got over 600 members, and we do have at the moment about 4 events per month. So that's a mix of different activities, including networking, book club, panel seminars, etc. Loads of blogs, a huge social media presence. Importantly, we've launched earlier this year for International Women's Day a report called Gender Perception and Experiences Working in Transport, which really sort of sheds light and provide quantitative evidence on what it is to be working in the transport industry as a woman, and importantly, what can be done, what works. There is a series of case studies at the end of the report, which is really good to understand what can be done to improve gender balance in different areas of transport. And we've launched our bus diversity and inclusion group, and we also have our advanced program, which is our mentoring program, which is all virtual, where we've paired 15 mentors and mentees. And then we launched our leadership program, which is called Lead, and is also very, very exciting. So moving on, our model is that we are funded by our members who pay an annual membership fee, but we also have corporate partners. And as you can see on this slide, it's quite a mix. It's quite varied between public and private organizations and authorities, operators, also sort of organizations that are more targeted around sort of women's group, like Women on Board and others. In terms of our Scotland hub, so as I said, we launched earlier this year. We've secured funding and sponsorship from Transport Scotland, Network Rail, and Momentum Transport Consultancy, and that has enabled us to start creating a web page and various collaterals, engaging with really wide range of organizations in Scotland, recruiting members, and then setting up our volunteers hub, which is now made up of seven people. So we had our launch 25th of March, so 2 months ago, and almost 100 people attended, which is really, really great, really brilliant. And we also have a LinkedIn group, which gathers, actually it's not 157, it's 160. I checked that earlier today, and it's increased a little bit. In terms of what we want to do specifically for the Scotland Hub is to build on the existing program that exists network-wide and provide really a platform for Scotland professionals, men and women, that are interested in increasing diversity, increasing gender balance across the industry, to engage, to share ideas, but also promoting, projects, promoting talent, and making sure that we recognise the excellent work that's being done in Scotland by the myriad of small and large companies that exist. So in terms of partnering with us and being part of our journey for Scotland. This can happen at sort of individual or corporate level. So individual level, we've got our annual membership, which is £60 a year. 75% of that goes to a Scotland pot and 25% goes to the website and other sort of overhead costs. That gives access to all of our events plus the Scotland events. At more corporate level, we organise what we call the group membership. So for organisations that would have more than 10 members, we offer a discounted rate. We obviously accept donations for events or for specific programs, specific pieces of research, or ideas that companies want to promote. Really, we're a charity, so those opportunities can be made quite bespoke, and the best way to find out about that is to engage with me and the other volunteers in terms of what people want to achieve. Equally, it's not necessarily about sponsorship or group membership. It can simply be about partnership and helping us raising our profile across Scotland, like I'm doing today with the Sustainable Mobility Cluster Builder. And finally, we're always on the lookout for people that want to help us running new events or simply expanding our activities. There's plenty to get busy with because we're a new organizations as well. So whether it's very pragmatic roles in terms of helping us taking minutes and setting up meetings, etc., all the way through to strategic sort of thinking and external partnerships, there's plenty to get busy with. So in terms of our next activities, on the 2nd of June, we will have a representation at the National Active Travel Conference. And then on the 8th of June, I'm absolutely delighted that we are able to host an audience with Joanne Aitken, who was the Scotland Traffic Commissioner until 2019 and is now the the chair of the Glasgow Bus Partnership. So really, that's in a nutshell what Women in Transport is about. If you want more information, if you're interested in any of those opportunities and doing that with us, we have our website and various contact details here. The best way to reach me is probably via the email address scotland@womenintransport.com. And I think Catherine might put that in the chat as well. And if you've got any questions, just please do get in touch. Thanks very much.
Thanks a lot, Mailys. It's really great to hear about that initiative. So I'm just wondering, do you have any indication of, obviously the goal is equality at the end of the day, but do you have any idea of what the workforce currently looks like as far as women? I know it's difficult to measure when you talk about the whole of transportation.
You're absolutely right. It's very difficult, and you've got subsectors as well within transport. So what I find is that within the sort of active travel, mobility, third sector, there is a much greater gender balance, whilst some other industries aren't just so well represented, or you might find a lot of women at sort of graduate level, but not necessarily at the top. Sometimes it's the complete opposite, and that's why I think in terms of what we do and what we offer, we try to not just have one initiative, and we try to sort of target at different levels to sort of help growing that capability across roles, across subsectors.